Hey everyone, welcome to another video on Z's4 Games. Today we're playing Star Wars Legion on this sweet table full of Kyber crystals on it's a Necron playmat, but ignore that. It looked cool because it matched. I'm Z.
I'm Collin.
And we'll come back after we get the battle deck set up. Okay, we've finished our battle deck and deployment. We're doing battle lines, fortified positions, and intercepted transmissions. Let's do a quick view of the table. The Imperials are on this side, with the Separatists on the opposite side. And the Separatists are going to tell us what's in their list over here, Collin.
Alright, so I'm playing Separatist Invasion. So for those that don't know, Separatist Invasion lets you bring 8 units of corps.
Only 8 units of battle droids.
So we have to take a tank in the list. So we have a AAT, and right behind it we have our T-Series, which is our commander. And then we just have a line of B1s with 4 of them have rockets, and 4 of them have crit guns, and 3 of them have the little healer guy. So we're hoping to out-attrition our opponent today.
It's highly likely. Over here, this is the same list I ran last week. We're running it back. So we have Callus over here with his staff. We have Shores with the heavy and a mortar. We have Black Suns with Magdet and the extra Enforcer. We have the Vigo just chilling by himself, staring down the Separatist army. We have the Royal Guard with Into the Fray and Tenacity and the Staff Guard. We have another similar squad of Black Suns. And then on this side, we have Din Djarin hanging out with these Shore Troopers over here. So we're going to come back with round 1, order cards. Alright, so on round 1, the Separatists went with Orbital Strike. And the Empire went with This Is the Way. The Orbital Strike gave the token to the tank, who coordinated to
the T-Series because of his pilot, and then the T-Series directed
the whole army.
The whole army.
And 4 of them over there have surge tokens from aggressive tactics. On this side of town, Mando got the order, which he comms relayed over to the Shores, which coordinated over to the mortar. And then we got our independent tokens. We got an aim and a dodge. We got the dodge from the order on Mando. We got the aim token from target 1. Independent aim, independent aim, independent aim. And that's where we are starting round 1. At the end of round 1, the Empire's taken off a mortar and most of a Shore Trooper squad. The Separatists have lost they lost 7 droids and brought 3 of them back with their repairs. We're aggressively coming up the board here. Mando came up and did some shooting. The droids focused their fire on the Shore Troopers and the mortar on this flank. The tank killed IRG. And really, we're just setting up for a scoring ground next round. The start of round 2, the Separatists went with Unrelenting Assault, giving everyone except their T-Series an order because of coordinate. And on here, we did Whistling Birds with Din Djarin, who coordinated his token who comms relayed his token to a Shore Trooper, and we sent an aim token over with aid to this Black Sun unit. And that's where we are at the start of round 2. At the end of round 2, this side of the board, the Separatist army keeps coming up. They did a couple of points to Mando. They killed off that Black Sun squad. The Shore Trooper squad just stood in place and panicked. He finished using all his repair droids because Mando Whistling Birds and did 8 wounds over 3 units, which is really glorious. Over here, the Royal Guards have run up, so have the Black Sun, Callus, and the Vigo. Left flank is secured by these 2 Shores. The tank took a couple of points from the Shore Troopers. Going into round 3, so round 2 ended with the score 2 to the Imperials, 1 to the Separatists. Round 3, the Separatists played AI coordination and gave the standby to their tank. Over here, I like these odds on Din Djarin. He gets an aim token and he, again, comms related off to the Shore Trooper, who's still hanging out after the death of his squad. We have some aim tokens out over here because of the aid. And then we have a few surges around over there. Everyone in his army has an order, so he can go with whatever he wants. Round 3 ends with a lot more carnage. There's a big hole where the tank used to be, because these Black Suns did a glorious amount of work.
5 out of 7 failed.
Agent Callus fell over here after getting shot a whole lot of times. Over here, Mando killed off 2 squads of B1s with his
7 total.
7 models with his activation, and we have a big hole going into a scoring round. Round 4, Empire's gone with standing orders for some reason. I wonder why. And the droids went with Roger, Roger. Over here, we got the Shore Troopers and the mortars with an order. We have a bunch of aim tokens on all of our Black Suns, and then Mando with his aim dodge. All the droids have orders, and all of them have dodges?
3 of them have dodges, and 4 of them have
Surges?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Round 4, and the bloodshed continues, but only on one side. Sadly, Mandalorian did die. He got shot up a whole bunch more. Over here, the B1s are getting whittled down. The Royal Guard have joined the fight. Black Suns are running across the board, heavily suppressed. The Shore Troopers coming around to lend their weight on this side. And this mortar is holding down this 1 point by himself. Score is 4-2 in the Empire's favor at the end of round 4, going into round 5. Round 5 begins. The Empire is back on standing orders. Mechanized incursion for the Separatists. Using direct, they were able to give their entire army orders and surges, just about. And we got the shores with an aim and the mortars with a token here. And just a few more aims. Once again, we did some aiding to keep the Black Suns healthy there. Round 5. The final Black Sun Enforcer squad model is dead. Goodbye, hero of the Empire. We will remember you fondly. The Royal Guard picked up a squad, and just a lot of tiny pieces of B1 squads all over the place. Heading into round 6, 4-2 Empire. If Separatists pick up 2 points at the end of round 6, they might win on points. So we'll come back to that in a minute in round 6. The last round of the game. The Separatists went with Unstoppable Advance. May perform a speed 1 move. What? That's awesome. Oh, but using this card. So only 3 units can do it. And then standing orders on the Empire. Shores have got theirs. And we're going to have an aim token on that Vigo in a second. And over here, we have those 3 B1s who grabbed some orders.
I mean, everyone's going to get ordered, but the 3 that are getting the order from the card are black, brown, and purple.
Cool. We'll be coming back at the end of round 6. Round 6 and the dust clears. And the Empire managed to defend these 2 points over here, going up to 8 victory points, while the Separatists crawled all over this point here and snagged it at the end, giving us an 8-4 victory for the Empire over the Separatists. We're going to clean up our board, get a nice final view of the table, and we'll come back for round 6 and post-game summary. All right, Collin, post-game analysis.
That was stressful. I'm going to tell you, that was really stressful. So, for me going into this, I knew that the BSC and Mando are going to be my big problems because they just throw so much dice, and I don't have cover against them.
Mostly, yeah.
Pretty much. The one time with Mando, but every time with the BSC.
Right.
So I knew that's why I leaned so heavily on the one side because I wanted to utilize just my weight of fire, try and funnel you in and just shoot you as much as I can. Unfortunately, I wasn't really able to whittle down the BSC enough before they got to me. I did kill 1 unit on turn 2.
You did,
but
not before they got in. And
but not before. I mean, they only
splashed.
actually killed 2 guys, so it wasn't as bad. But the Mando didn't work.
So, Mando kill count, not counting the healing, because you healed
I healed
all
6.
6.
I healed 6
He healed
B1s.
6, and they were pretty much all from Mando. But we'll come back to that. So he kills 2 on round 1 with his shot, with his relentless shot. He whistling birds on round 2.
8.
Kills 8 because he rolls 18 dice and kills 8. Round 3, he kills another 7. That man killed 17 droids.
17 droids by him.
That's 3 activations.
That's a quarter of my wounds gone from just Mando.
Had I been closer on round 2, or had I waited with Mando for him to move up so I could have shot and whistling birds, but I figured that was greedy, move up and get into a better position and force him to focus on Mando so my Black Suns could run up from the other side of the table.
Yeah, I think a big turning point in my opinion was that BSC shot on the tank.
Oh my god, glorious.
Statistically should not have done that many. So he gets
11 dice,
4 natural crits,
4 natural crits and
3
impact
and
3.
then 3 impact. So he gets 7 on me, and I blank 5 of them.
So 5 damage. I wasn't planning on killing the tank. It had already taken a couple of, nickel and dimes from the mortar and from the stormtroopers in the previous turns. So I'm like, what the hell? It's got 2 wounds left, and we just threw everything else at it for the rest of the round. It actually made a few more saves, but managed to take it out with the Royal Guard just flinging their pistols at it.
See, if the tank had just lived for 1 more turn, I would have been able to double tap into that shore and possibly shore mortar and kill on your back point and possibly kill it, which would have made your shore trooper unit have to dedicate their their act to going into the back and capping that point.
And I have to give a shout out to the hero of the Empire, my lone short trooper again, who survived until turn 5. And it was relevant because he was someone who drew 2 extra units worth of firepower.
Yeah.
Just to get dealt with, which kept the other parts of my army alive longer.
Yeah. I think that last turn where I didn't act with that unit that I knew in my head I needed to act with on right at the get-go, that's what lost me.
Yeah, because then the math on everything changes.
Yeah,
it's like, can I stop you from scoring both? And if I can I kill enough to win on points?
Yeah.
Had you not killed anything else, I technically had the Shores, the Mortars, the Vigo, and the Royal Guards, which the Royal Guards are about 100, the Vigos about 50 and change, the Shore Troopers were in the 80s, and the Mortars are 40. So I would have been about 300-ish.
Yeah.
What were you at?
If
nothing else dies.
If nothing else died, I had 5 units.
4. Because you had red, you had blue.
So I had red, blue,
Brown, black, purple. You had 5.
So I had 5 B1 units, which roughly, I think,
80?
I think roughly they're about 50-something to 60-something a piece.
That's it?
Yeah.
Even with their heavy?
Even with their heavies are cheap, man.
Okay.
Their heavies are only 18
So that's
points.
300 plus your officer.
The officer, I think, is only, I think it's like 80-something.
Okay. So really, it would have come down to the fact that I would have had to kill off 1, if not 2 black battle droid units.
Yeah.
Which was doable.
It was doable,
Because
but
I killed purple and brown.
yeah, but like I said, if I had gone with brown first, they would have
Potentially lived, yeah.
They would have went into melee with the Shores, probably don't die, and then all I have to worry about is purple surviving mostly, because purple was only at 2 models left.
Purple would have gotten picked off by the Vigo and the Mortar, which is what actually happened.
Yeah.
The Royal Guard biffed against. I was expecting them to pick up that squad. The 4 model squad,
Yeah.
with my 5 red and black dice combined,
Yeah.
and an aim and 2 surges.
Yeah, and
I rolled 3 blanks into 2 blanks.
I had a dodge and a surge. That's all I had.
I was like, there's a chance they can pick them up. So
Getting Callus out of the way though on turn.
that was brutal. Putting me on standing orders for half the game.
That helped a little bit. Can we talk about the Royal Guard's Guardian saves?
So the Royal Guards,
Those were nuts.
who I always take and I'm always disappointed by, today showed me their true colors. They came in clutch.
I think they passed like 90% of their Guardian saves.
They made 8 out of 10 Guardian saves.
Yeah.
They failed 2 Guardian saves. They took 2 damage from a B1 squad, and that was it.
No, they took 2 damage
From the tank.
I killed a model at the start with the tank.
That's right.
But then they just Guardianed like throughout the rest of the game.
And with Into the Fray, they had surge tokens a little bit to help them out.
Yeah.
They always ended each turn with 2 surge tokens that they didn't even end up using. So
Like, as much as I always usually go for the Guardian units, when I have BSE staring me at, like, just literally knocking at my front door and quite literally blowing it up, I didn't have time to focus them.
yeah, so Empire win 8-4. Collin was all like, "I'm gonna beat your winning streak, Z."
I thought I was going to be able to attrition you because I'm just
Double my model count?
I'm just throwing a lot, like, because you gotta think, full squads of B1s untouched are throwing. I have a mix of 8, 9, and 10 throughout all those squads. The tank's throwing 8 at max. So like in a round at my perfect range, I'm throwing almost 80 dice. Granted, most of those are whites, but if you throw enough,
Right, that's how that
you know,
works.
it's the classic 40k orc method of shoot enough until you get a hit.
And just like orcs, when you miss a lot,
Yeah,
nothing happens.
Yeah, when you miss a lot, and your saves are really average until the last two turns of the game.
Yeah, the last 2 turns of the game they really spiked, so I definitely am thankful for that. Anyways, Collin,
Yeah, it was a
thanks
good
for
game,
playing.
man. Until next time, I'll get them next time.
We'll see. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.